Welcome everybody. It's Scott here from Woke Societies, here to drop amazing live stream to you all. How is everybody doing tonight? It is Quarantine Saturday. Yes, here we are. It's been a long week for me, ladies and gentlemen. The name of the song, by the way, is called Pathogen. Welcome everybody. Hold on. It's Scott here from Woke Societies, here to... Gotta turn that off. Yes, this song is called Pathogen, which I thought was very, it needed to be... I needed a song like this. I needed to get pumped up. And now I am pumped up. So let's switch the chill gears, shall we? Okay, here we go. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody doing tonight? Hello, people. It's happening. Patriots, are you ready for Passover? Well, I don't know if I'm ready for Passover, but we'll have to see what's happening. So, let's hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get this show started right. Like, share, comment, get it up there. How's everybody feeling? I know everybody's home right now. Nobody's out doing shit right now. Absolutely not. Did you get a haircut? Yes. And you know who gave me a haircut? The effing doctor. I don't know if he's in here right now. But yes, he did give me a fly haircut. That's why I'm not wearing my hat right now, because otherwise my hair is just absolutely atrocious. But thank you. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. So yeah, let's get this show on the road here. You guys know already, this is the Woke Society's YouTube channel. Let me get it back over here. This is the Woke Society's YouTube channel. Like, comment, share. Tell your friends and family about this amazing community of people and this amazing content that I provide for you guys as much as I possibly can. Get those likes up there, guys. Hit those likes. It gets the video looked at organically. And of course, we got our Patreon. You guys can jump onto my Patreon, up your fandom. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month, $12 a year, and you can support independent media. All this goes back into the channel. You guys can also check out my BitChute and also my brand new spanking store with some Q gear, some Pepe mugs, the Shifter spoon, and my personal favorite, the Woke Society's official mug. This is all custom made by my brother here, local in New York. He makes all this stuff himself. It's a good time. So check out my store. And if you guys want to make a one-time donation, one-time gift to the show, you can always send it through my PayPal. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. How's everybody doing tonight? Here we go. Here we go. So, all right. So I think, yeah, we'll give it one more minute for everyone just to jump in here. Everyone get nice and cozy. Get your drink. I have Coronas actually in the fridge, which is pretty funny. I do have the Coronas, and I was gonna start drinking some on here just to be a little funny, but I decided not to. I got to keep the mind clean for the live show, and then we can have some fun later on. Dude, I cut my own hair and beard. Savvy optician, yes. Well, I'll talk a little bit about you a little bit later. So yeah, guys, let's jump into this. Thanks for everybody joining. We're gonna be talking about a bunch of cool stuff tonight. Obviously, a lot of coronavirus talk. We're gonna be talking about Soros. That is going to be the meat of this show tonight, and just all the things that Trump is doing to bring relief to all the craziness right now. And we're going to have some laughs at the end, and we're going to take some calls at the end of the show, and we're just going to have a good time. So drop those super chats on me, get those out there, and let's get this ball rolling. So Where I want to start here, ladies and gentlemen, you all knew from my social media accounts that I was a little bit stressed out about work, how this virus was going to affect me. And as you guys know, I do vending machines. I take care of 2 maximum security state prisons. And it was inevitable. Just didn't know when this was going to happen. But we got the news today. I was literally coming home from work today, and my boss called me an hour after I punched out to this news right here. Let me show you what I'm looking at. New York Department of Corrections suspends visits statewide until April 11th. To be honest, guys, I didn't really know how to react to this, but New York State is banning visitations at its prisons until April 11th due to the coronavirus outbreak. So it does not mean that they are closing the prisons, because you can't really close a prison. But the thing is, I take care of the vending machines, the coffee machines, the fresh food machines for all the visitors that come and meet their baby daddies. They come in, and they're pretty much my main source of revenue. I'm paid by salary and commission, so I get a percentage of those sales. So they closed off visitations. And you know what? Today I was in the prisons, and people were wearing masks, people were wearing all this kind of stuff, and they had the kids with them. And I'm just thinking, like, if they keep these prisons open, guys, it's only inevitable till I get something. You know, you guys know I have a family at home, all that good stuff. So I don't know what's going to happen as far as work. Until April 11th, about 3 to 4 weeks out from now. So we don't know if we're going to be getting layoffs. We don't know anything. So I get tomorrow off. I work 6 days a week, but my boss said don't go in tomorrow. So Monday morning, we're going to have an actual meeting, and we're going to figure out what's going on with my job. So worst case scenario, guys, I do get laid off, but you know what? It's not a big deal, only because I get to make doing YouTube full time for 2 to 3 weeks. And that's the dream. That is my dream. So we'll have to see what happens. So that is the update as far as my job. I'll keep you guys updated as always. And as I tell everybody, if you're not following me on social media, follow me, because I give constant updates and all that good stuff about personal things and just the channel in general. So let's jump into the content. So yeah, I see everybody talking about Tom Hanks, Mr. Good old Tom Hanks. And guess what, guys? He is in my first story. So Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson test positive for coronavirus as outbreak hits Elvis Presley film. And it says, we have just received word that Tom Hanks and Rita Wilson have tested positive for the coronavirus. Both have been down in Australia for the pre-production of Baz Luhrmann's untitled Elvis Presley film from Warner Brothers. The 2-time Oscar winner Hanks is set to play Presley's longtime manager, Colonel Tom Parker, in the project. So it's funny. I don't know how this is happening, but how are these celebrities, these people that are supposed to be insulated, how are they getting this disease? How is this happening? And it's not just Tom Hanks either. It's more than that. Let's take a look here. Let's see who else got the corona. We have the Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau's wife test positive for coronavirus. And if you got, to me, Canada is still compromised. They still have Trudeau as the prime minister, and he's just no good. He's a deep state clown, and his wife got it. And it says right here, she will remain in isolation for the time being. She is feeling well, is taking all the recommended precautions, and her symptoms remain mild. The couple is now self-isolating. Mr. Trudeau is in good health and has no symptoms according to his office, but will remain in isolation for 14 days. But guys, how is this happening? How are these people that are supposed to be in high regard, the elites? I always keep talking about the Iranian health minister got sick, the vice president to Iran got sick, and what's going on? And not only that, this tweet here from Tiffany Fitzhenry. Heidi Klum, who was named in a court deposition by one of Jeffrey Epstein's former child sex slaves as someone she met while working as a child sex slave for him, leaves AGT taping after feeling ill. You guys see what's happening, right? So I would love to know what you guys think about these deep state clowns getting this virus, because I don't know do you guys know anybody personally that has this virus yet? Because I don't. I don't know anyone. I don't know any of these people. We keep hearing things about all these locals around here, where I live in New York, an hour away. I told you guys in my last episode that I was right in New Rochelle, and I had people in my prison today visiting, saying, "Oh, I'm right from the epicenter, from where all this is." I'm just like, "Holy, please stay away from me, stay away from me." But it's crazy. It's crazy. So we got all these Hollywood actors just coincidentally getting this virus. So very interesting, right? And not only that, we had more executives and VPs stepping down. And this is the appetizer. You guys all know what's coming after this. In case you missed it, Best Buy's executive chairman, Hubert Jolly, to step down. And I don't know where the list is. There's someone on Twitter. Someone on Twitter is keeping a live list of all the CEO and executive step downs, and it is a record number since Trump has taken office, a record number of CEO step downs. And that is no coincidence. And Q told us from the beginning, this is what was going to happen. And we see it every single week that this happens. And as you all know, Bill Gates steps down from Microsoft Berkshire Hathaway boards. And this is from Routers. Microsoft Core co-founder Bill Gates has stepped down from the company's... Whoa. No, I leave my ad blocker on. Has stepped down from the company's board. Hold on, turn that off. From the company's board to dedicate more time to his philanthropic priorities, including global health, education, and tackling climate change, the company said on Friday. When I heard that statement, I was like, well, I think I'd rather him stay on the Microsoft board, because we all know that when he made his measles vaccinations, he sterilized thousands of African children and men and women, completely sterilized them. So now he's focusing on, of course, vaccine tests, coronavirus tests and vaccines for the corona. And guess what? He's going to make hand over fist a ton of money. So that is this is a lead into what I want to get into as far as the crux and meat of this episode tonight. It's going to be a little bit shorter, but it's okay. Things were a little crazy in my life this week, so absolutely fine. And just one more CEO, the UPS CEO, David Abney, is also stepping down. Now, I just want people to realize that not every CEO that's stepping down has connections to the deep state. You know, people have these jobs, they get old, their lives change, and they step down. But the thing is, the ones who are woke, the ones who follow Q, they know, they told us from the beginning that this was going to happen. And it just so happens that it's a record number that this has been going on. So let's get into the big meat of this episode tonight. Now, I came across this. I forgot who sent this to me. There was somebody on, I think it was one of my patrons that sent me this article. And we're going to come back to this thread here in just a moment. But this blew my mind, and not a lot of things surprise me anymore. But this is where this all began. This whole entire pandemic thing with the Soros. So this article was created on June 28th, 2017, and this is directly from the World Bank itself. The article. World Bank launches first ever pandemic bonds to support 500 million pandemic emergency financing facility. Washington, D.C., June 28, 2017, the World Bank, International Bank for Reconstruction and Development today, launched specialized bonds aimed at providing financial support to the Pandemic Emergency Financing Facility, a facility created by the World Bank to channel surge funding to developing countries facing the risk of a pandemic. This marks the first time that World Bank bonds are being used to finance efforts against infectious diseases, and the first time that pandemic risk in low-income countries is being transferred to the financial markets. And doesn't that sound sketchy? The PEF will provide more than $500 million to cover developing countries against the risk of pandemic outbreaks over the next 5 years through a combination of bonds and derivatives, priced today, a cash window, and future commitments from donor countries for additional coverage. The transaction that enables PEF to potentially save millions of lives was oversubscribed. So they had a number, and because this was open to pretty much anybody that wanted to throw money at it, they reached their goal, and it was actually 200% of what they needed. And this was reflecting an overwhelmingly positive reception from investors and a high level of confidence in the New World Bank sponsored instrument. Doesn't this sound like high level elite deep state actors all over it? With such strong demand, the World Bank was able to price the transaction well below the original guidance from the market. The total amount of risk transferred to the market through the bonds and derivatives is $425 million. Now let's look at this. With this new facility, we have taken a momentous step that has the potential to save millions of lives and entire economies from one of the greatest systematic threats we face. World Bank Group President Jim Young Kim said, "We are moving away from the cycle of panic and neglect that has characterized so much of our approach to pandemics. We are leveraging our capital market expertise, our deep understanding of the health sector, our experience overcoming development challenges, and our strong relationships with donors and the insurance industry to serve the world's poorest people. This creates an entirely new market for pandemic risk insurance, drawing on lessons from the Ebola outbreak in West Africa. The facility will help improve health security for everyone." Now, this is pretty much opening. Hey, anybody that wants to make money off these pandemics, it's open. It's all here. Have at it. Throw us all the money that you can, and you're going to get paid very handsomely if there is a pandemic within the next 5 years of this. So the World Bank announced the creation of this PEF in May 2016 at the G7 Finance Ministers and Central Governors meeting in Sendai, Japan. The PEF will quickly channel funding to countries facing a major disease outbreak with pandemic potential. Its unique financing structure combines funding from the bonds issued today with over-the-counter derivatives that transfer pandemic outbreak risk to derivative counterparties. The structure was designed to attract a wider, more diverse set of investors, and that's exactly what they did. There is no checks and balances as to who can come in here and invest money and make money off these pandemics. The PEF has two windows. The first is an insurance window with premiums funded by Japan and Germany, consisting of bonds and swaps, including those executed today. The second is a cash window for which Germany provided initial funding of euro 50 million. So you had two countries that originally put money into this fund for this insurance company. In case there's a pandemic, these funds are supposedly, I put that in quotations, going to be aid for these poor countries that are devastated by viruses. The bonds and the derivatives for the PEF's insurance window were developed by the World Bank Treasury in cooperation with leading reinsurance companies Swiss R and Munich Re. These are the banks, ladies and gentlemen, that are pulling the strings for the entire world. The ones who actually make the calls, the shot callers behind the scenes that we all know. These are all involved with this pandemic. Think of this as a pandemic insurance company. Air Worldwide was the sole modeler using the Air Pandemic model to provide expert risk analysis. The Swiss Markets is the sole book runner for the transaction. So these bonds will be issued under IBRD's capital at risk program because investors bear the risk of losing part or all the investment in the bond if an epidemic event triggers payouts to eligible countries covered under the PEF. The PEF covers 6 viruses, and let's look at the viruses that they cover. These include new orthomoxyviruses, new influenza. There it is, coronavirus, SARS, MRSA. That's the coronavirus. Fluoride, I'm not going to try Ebola, and other zoonotic diseases. The main one I want to focus on, obviously, is the corona. PEF financing to eligible countries will be triggered when an outbreak reaches predetermined levels of contagion, including number of deaths, the speed of the spread of the disease, and whether disease crosses international borders. Here it is. The determinations for the trigger are made based on publicly available data as reported by the World Health Organization, who is tied directly to Soros. And I just want to reiterate here. It says the PEF financing to eligible countries will be triggered when an outbreak reaches predetermined levels of contagion. So I just want to stop there real quick. Remember when we were talking about that Bill Gates was doing all these tests in December at Johns Hopkins University for the coronavirus, testing test scenarios to see how many how many would get sick, how many could possibly perish. And not only that, remember in September, also at the Wuhan airport, they were testing coronavirus outbreaks in the airport on this plane to see what kind of numbers they could come up with. So I'm telling you guys right now, these predetermined numbers that this insurance company has, they're already set. So once these people like Bill Gates, Soros, they know this. They know the numbers that need to be achieved to hit that level of pandemic, and then all this money is surged through. It's all surged through. And who gives authority on that? I just said it. Who? The World Health Organization, who we all know is tied directly to Soros. Unbelievable, right? But let's continue. The World Bank has developed some of the most innovative catastrophe risk insurance instruments in the market to help developing countries manage risk. In the past 10 years, the institution has executed approximately 1.6 billion in catastrophe risk transactions. And for the one that is covered under this pandemic bond summary terms and conditions, covered perils, two of them are right here: flu and the coronavirus. You cannot make this up. And those are Class A and Class B. So they covered their tracks here for the higher strain and a lower strain, because we all know they call it COVID-19 for a reason. Coronavirus isn't just one strain. It has multiple strains. It mutates. It changes. It's changed over the years. But they put it in here as a general term as just regular coronavirus, not novel, not, the strains before, all of it. All of it. So the World Bank has two main goals: to end extreme poverty and promote shared prosperity. This has globalism all over it, and it reeks of deep state shit. It seeks to achieve them primarily by providing loans, risk management products, and expertise on development-related disciplines to its borrowing member government clients and middle-income countries and other creditworthy countries. And by coordinating responses to regional and global challenges, it has been issuing sustainable development bonds in the international capital markets for 70 years to fund its activities that achieve a positive impact. So let's go back to the thread here. So what does all of this mean? So the guy here, Truthhammer, spells it out perfectly. Well, this is interesting. Soros crowd doesn't have to pay $500 million back to investors in July 2020 if a coronavirus outbreak is officially determined to be a pandemic. And that's exactly what happened. How fast, ladies and gentlemen, did the WHO declare this a pandemic? It got through China, and then it got out, and then it went to Italy. Italy's on lockdown. It got to Iran. There's some cases in the other small cases, but you're talking not a crazy amount. The numbers that we've been seeing are absolutely ridiculous. They're all over the map. But the thing here is, there had to be a pandemic declared by July 2020, so the investors didn't have to pay $500 million back in interest. So the timing of this is just insane. Absolutely insane. A total of $425 million plus interest is due. In the event of a pandemic, those funds are instead diverted to relief efforts under direction of the World Health Organization. So basically, they can vaporize the money if it still exists and claim it was spent somewhere they want. So again, this is a gigantic money laundering scheme that I can see here. And they say they are going to put the money to relief efforts, but we have really no way of tracking that. And the people that are receiving the money are taking it, and it's just gone. It's off the books. Completely off the books. The World Bank has developed some of the most innovative catastrophe risk insurance. I read that to you guys before. Now, all they have to do is declare this outbreak to be a pandemic, which they did fairly quickly, just like California keeps declaring emergencies to help themselves to federal funding. And we know they were doing this with the wildfires. I covered this back in November. California needs help. They're in debt. The state is just absolutely rotting away. What happens? These mysterious fires that start from what I can see from satellites, DEWs, right? Direct energy weapons. I've covered this. It's been seen. It's proven. It is the same exact way that they are using these this pandemic insurance company that these corrupt people built. And it says, folks, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If this one fund exists, that they can help themselves too, and then there are more to find. So everyone's talking about, right? Why do these viruses keep popping up around elections every other year? It seems to be a cycle. It seems to be a cycle, right? Well, what do you expect? There are always people making money off of these companies are making money off the vaccines, the treatments, the thing about how much money the toilet paper companies are making right now, the hand sanitizer companies. This is just a ripple effect of what's going on. It's just a ripple effect, but it's absolutely crazy seeing all this, and people call us conspiracy theorists, and it's just not the case. It's just not the case. There is proven facts here, and you think they wouldn't set these programs up to lose money. They wouldn't set these up to lose money. And that's what people need to realize. These people are profiting off us, the common folk. While we're out here suffering, people are going nuts, Not if you catch the coronavirus, it's not the end of the world. It is for the elderly, but still, people have died. People have died. And they don't care. The media does not care about you. The media does not care about anybody. And Soros, a Democrat, he's been one of the biggest Democratic donors for a long time, and there is a Democratic-funded media. It's all connected, all of it. So please, let me know what everyone thinks about this. Please. I would love to get your opinion on it. But all is not lost. All is not lost. There are some positives here. And right here, this gave me such a sense of relief, especially with everything going on at work. This is a tweet from Praying Medic. White House and Dems reach agreement on coronavirus bill, which will include free coronavirus testing for all who need it, including those without insurance, up to 2 weeks of paid sick leave, and up to 3 months of paid family and medical leave. And that, ladies and gentlemen, do you ever remember seeing anything like this with Barack Obama? When he let the swine flu absolutely infestate our country for 6 months, people had died, and there was thousands infected, and then waited, and then declared a national emergency. If Trump had waited the press was already wanting to call Trump the Trump virus instead of coronavirus. We've all seen it. But not only that, Trump has been nothing but action and getting work done. This is from the Epoch Times. Trump administration considering suspending student debt payments during coronavirus outbreak. He's giving not only relief to families, but he's giving relief to students. The Trump administration is considering a temporary suspension of student debt payments amid the coronavirus outbreak, Treasury Secretary Stephen Mnuchin said on Friday. The proposal is part of a package meant to address the economic fallout of COVID-19, the disease the coronavirus causes. That's on our list of 50 different items we're bringing to the president for a decision. That will be something we're looking at, Mnuchin said during an appearance on CNBC's Squawk Box after being asked if he would consider a 3-month suspension of payments. And we saw it in Italy. They were already suspending mortgage payments for 3 months because of this. The whole country's on lockdown. And there's a video right now on Twitter going viral of people in Italy standing on their balconies of their apartments, playing tambourines and singing music and just having a good time. I mean, what the hell are you supposed to? What are you supposed to do? You can't do anything. You're in your home. I mean, I don't even know if anyone's really working. I have no idea. But not only is it the student debt, Trump is rolling out low-interest loans to small businesses that are impacted by the coronavirus. U.S. small businesses hurt by the COVID-19 outbreak will be able to receive up to a $2 million in disaster assistance loans as part of the economic relief package offered by Donald Trump. In his address to the nation on March 11, Trump said he instructed the Small Business Administration, a government agency, to provide capital and liquidity, butcher that word, liquidity to firms affected by the coronavirus. He called on Congress to increase funding for the SBA program by an additional $50 billion. Now, I didn't follow politics until the last 2 years, but I certainly do not remember any of this going on when the swine flu was happening with Barack Obama, Ebola. I don't remember any of this stuff happening. And it's been within weeks, ladies and gentlemen, weeks that we see all this action. All of this action. He's declared a state of emergency. The United States Constitution, and this is from Joe M., and I thought this was very interesting. This kind of relates back to the last video I did. The United States Constitution provides some emergency powers in the article about the executive power. Congress may authorize the government to call forth the militia to execute the law, suppress an insurrection, or repeal an invasion. Congress may authorize the government to suspend consideration of writs of habeas corpus when in cases of rebellion or invasion the public safety may require it. Felony charges may be brought without presentment or grand jury indictment in cases arising in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because everyone was saying, oh my gosh, you know, last time Q posted was about silent operations. What do we do? They said rig for red with the submarine going underwater. They went dark for a while and then they just, they disappeared. They didn't post for a while and they haven't really been posting that much. And I do believe they are carrying out silent operations. But when you declare a state of emergency, there are other avenues offered and different laws that take effect immediately and other avenues that you're able to take to do certain actions. As we saw right here in New York, we saw New Rochelle. There was a 1 mile containment circle right in New Rochelle, and the National Guard was there assisting with that. And on top of it, since then, there has been 6 other cities that the National Guard has been deployed to. And Q has talked about National Guard being deployed to certain cities and why that's happening. Now, I brought up Hillary Clinton in the first Q post ever about her being arrested, which was obviously disinformation at the time. But, when Q came on the scene, they certainly made a huge splash with that. Now, obviously, I don't believe Hillary's getting arrested. Every time someone says that, it doesn't happen. 99% of these times that we say, oh, all these unsealed indictments, here we come. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, just don't expect it. When it's going to happen is going to be the perfect time, and you have to remember that. You got to stop getting yourself false hope. It's good to have hope, but until it happens, we have to be patient and just trust the plan. And that's it. Just have 100% faith. That is it. So, as this is going on,
good afternoon,
turn this
everyone.
off. As this was going on, this is why this president's absolutely amazing. He's dealing with all of this. He's being asked if he has the coronavirus, has he been tested? He doesn't sound good. All this crap from the press, right? While all this is going on, feds arrest over 600 alleged Mexican cartel members. This is huge. This happened 3 days ago. The Department of Justice and Drug Enforcement Administration announced Wednesday that more than 600 arrests have been made as a result of an intra-agency operation cracking down on Mexican cartel activity. Project Python, a DEA-led initiative, targeted members of Cartel de Jalisco Nueva Generación. According to the DEA, over the last 6 months, federal law enforcement officials have been monitoring the activities of the accused. The operation resulted in more than 600 arrests nationwide, 350 indictments, and significant seizures of money and drugs, according to the agencies. Project Python marks the most comprehensive action to date in the Department of Justice campaign to disrupt, dismantle, and ultimately destroy the CJNG, Assistant Attorney General Brian said in a statement. And just an interesting point too, ladies and gentlemen, remember, Trump shut down all travel to Europe besides, I think it was Ireland and in the UK. And you have to realize what this is doing. It's not only protecting us Americans. It's not only that. It's shutting down ways of human trafficking, avenues of human trafficking. Human trafficking occurs most at shows, music events, sporting events, with the cruise ships, the airlines. People are smuggled and kidnapped and taken. And this is, I believe, since Trump has been in office, there has been such a crackdown on human trafficking, which I think is one of the worst crimes, next to pedophilia as being number one. It has to be. It's absolutely awful. But this is again, this is 4 whatever you want to call it, 4D, 5D chess being played right now. These shutdowns have multiple positive effects, and the Q team, I believe, is using this right now as an advantage to take advantage of this. And you guys all know, Project Looking Glass was my favorite episode, and I believe they do have technology that they can look into timelines and predict outcomes mathematically in their favor. I highly believe that. I don't think Q brought up Project Looking Glass for no reason. And of course, the media wanted to say that, oh, Trump wanted to keep the UK and Ireland open because he has 2 golf courses there and he wants to keep them afloat. And it's just like what? It's just an insult to his to how smart the guy is. You don't think he already knows like you're going to say that? You don't think he's already planning for the media to trash him about that? There's other things going on here. Obviously. So we have that going on. And before we switch gears here, I want to show you guys this because this is absolutely disgusting. This woman, I cannot wait till she's out of Congress. While President Trump is doing all of this work, trying to take care of the country, deal with this virus, President Trump slams Pelosi for trying to sneak in abortion funding into anti-coronavirus bill. This came out yesterday. You cannot make this shit up. President Donald Trump slammed Speaker Nancy Pelosi for trying to sneak abortion funding and other things into the economic stimulus bill meant to help combat the coronavirus. You guys can see where her interests stand. She does not give a shit about this country, as you can tell by her own state is in complete disarray. As Life News reported, Speaker Nancy Pelosi is so dedicated to promoting abortion and forcing Americans to fund killing babies in abortion that she has been caught trying to add taxpayer financing of abortions to the bill, our own money, to combat the coronavirus and provide economic stimulus to the nation as it deals with the COVID-19 outbreak. Pelosi came under heavy criticism from pro-life advocates, including from President Trump's son, Donald Trump Jr., who tweeted, "This pretty much sums up everything. Real Donald Trump is moving quickly to protect Americans from coronavirus and its economic impact. Democrats are spending their time trying to create an abortion slush fund." And that's exactly what it is. And I've dug deep into the abortion. I've dug deep into that topic. Whatever your views are on it, I respect each one. I do believe abortion is necessary in certain situations, but I do not like it. I do not like killing babies because after finding out what Planned Parenthood does with these babies that they advise women to kill, they are sold into the black market, and these doctors are making a ton of money off dead babies, and that is not cool. Having my own son now, it changed everything as far as my view on children, and I couldn't imagine having something like that happen to him. It'd be devastating. So while schools are closing and hospitals are gearing up, Speaker Pelosi is waging unnecessary culture wars. Speaker Pelosi should be fighting the coronavirus pandemic, not politicizing emergency funding by fighting against the bipartisan Hyde Amendment. Sass told National Review in a statement, "We need to be ramping up our diagnostic testing, not waging culture wars at the behest of Planned Parenthood." Good grief. And we know Trump cut off huge federal funding to Planned Parenthood. And kudos to him. Fuck that. I'm sorry. Fuck that. I try to keep this PG, but this is ridiculous. But President Trump also called out Pelosi for pushing her liberal political agenda over protecting Americans. A reporter asked Trump at the White House if he supports the legislation. No, because there are things in there that have nothing to do with things we are talking about, Trump told reporters in the Oval Office. It's not a way for them to get some of the goodies that they haven't been able to get for the last 25 years, the president said, and good for him for calling them out on it. I don't know how this man shakes this woman's hand ever again, and I was so glad that she got snobbed on the State of the Union address. That was an epic night. Absolutely epic night. But this is what we're dealing with. This is why the Republicans need to take back the House. They need to get rid of this woman. There is a national crisis here, and this is what we're trying to do. Trying to sneak in, be a snake, and sneak in bills like this. It's absolutely disgusting. All right, I promise we're going to get more positive I just want to drop this in here too. We have an article here from Breitbart. Super rich turn to bunkers to self-quarantine during coronavirus outbreak. And we know these exist. I think there's shows where there's doomsday preppers that some of these guys have these amazing, intricate bunkers. And the super rich are preparing to self-quarantine in places that are far off the grid, whether they be on private islands or inside disaster bunkers. This ultra-wealthy group of people plan on taking their personal doctors or nurses on their privately chartered flights with them in the event they become infected and reduce the risk of becoming infected by being exposed to the virus in a commercial airport or on a commercial flight, The Guardian reported. Once they are off the grid, they enter specially prepared disaster bunkers, some as far off as New Zealand, which many Silicon Valley leaders, that's too bad, have seemed to embrace as a safe haven over the past few months. Robert Vicino, founder and chief executive of Vivos Group, says his bunker construction firm has seen a bump in consultations and sales since the crisis began. I'm sure it has. People that have money for this stuff, these bunkers are millions and millions of dollars to do underground. You basically have a dwelling right under the ground. You can live there for who knows how long, a very long time. But if you have money, this is what you can do. You can build these bunkers, but this is where all these deep state actors are hiding, I believe. But maybe the Q team is quietly taking them out as we sit here right now. We never know. Never know. And this is something I wanted to show everybody. I saw everyone in the chat talking about this before. This was super interesting. This is from IET 17. And just real quick, the person that sent me the President Trump about the Pelosi trying to do the anti-abortion or abortion bill, that was the effing doctor. Thanks, dude, for sending me that, because that was not in the original lineup. So shout out to him for sending me that. So back to this. This is from IET 17. Adrenochrome. And this is breaking down, it looks like the chemical complexion of what are the bonds and the molecules of this. And just look at this. Adrenochrome. 3-hydroxy, 1-methyl, 2,3-dihydro, blah, 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 blah. But as you can see here, source 3B Scientific, Wuhan Corporation. What? And look it. This is what originally the compound looks like, but when you invert it, look what we have here. It looks like a rabbit. Follow the white rabbit. How cool is that? How coincidental is that? So many coincidences. And he says, where? Wuhan. Is the coronavirus and the adrenochrome talk about a way to take them all out at once, and they had no idea it was coming. Wuhan was harvesting adrenochrome. Crazy. And this was the company that says he used PubChem. There we go. PubChem. And this is where he found it. And this was date source from Wuhan Corporation. And you know how Q always says, these people are sick. These people are sick. Now, wouldn't it be funny if all these people that have been on adrenochrome, I know there's like a withdrawal effect, right? We've all seen how disgusting Hillary looks like without her makeup on. It looks like her face is absolutely melting off. But what if somehow Q knew this outbreak was going to happen in Wuhan and they got into the adrenochrome and they planted something? Now, this is straight up conspiracy theories, ladies and gentlemen. Straight up conspiracy theories. There is no evidence for this. This is just me shooting the shit right now. It's just really cool when you see the rabbit, when the chemical compound is inverted, and it's a rabbit. It's a white rabbit. Follow the white rabbit. It's just so cool. Even on my Q shirt, follow the white rabbit. I absolutely love it. So I figured you guys would get a nice little kick out of that. And just to throw out in here, this last thing on the coronavirus. This was I think I found this on Amazing Polly's Twitter. They're showing the false positive rate of positive results. So for people testing positive, supposedly, that really aren't, was 80.33%. The multivariate probabilistic sensitivity analysis, that'll destroy me, those 4 words. Results supported the base case findings with a 75% probability for the false positive rate of positive results over 47%. Nearly half or even more of the asymptomatic infected individuals reported in the active nucleic acid test screening might be false positives. We've seen a bajillion numbers. Everyone knows what's going on with this virus. We just don't know what to believe as far as numbers. WHO, the CDC, God knows what's true, what's not. We can only control what's in front of us. So that's what we have there. Now, I know a lot of you may have seen this. I have seen this multiple times. I wanted to show the viewers this, my audience this, in case they haven't come across this. Now, this is a book by Dean Koontz, The Eyes of Darkness, which was published in 1981. Let me just grab a quick drink, guys. 1 second. There we go. It was published in 1981. Now, look at what this book says. In around 2020, a severe pneumonia-like illness will spread throughout the globe, attacking the lungs and the bronchial tubes and resisting all known treatments. Almost more baffling than the illness itself will be the fact that it will suddenly vanish as quickly as it arrived, attack again 10 years later, and then disappear completely. And to understand that, it says right here, Donbai said you have to go back 20 months. It was around then that a Chinese scientist named Li Chen defected the United States carrying a dislike record, China's most important and dangerous new biological weapon in a decade. They call the stuff Wuhan 400 because it was developed at their rDNA labs outside of the city of Wuhan, and it was the 400th viable strain of man-made microorganisms created at that research center. Wuhan 400. What is that, ladies? What is that? What is that? How do you explain that? How do you explain that? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So we have these books here, and I'm gonna talk to you guys about a guy I met who I feel like we're gonna be future friends, and we're gonna collaborate because I'll talk about it towards the end. He's got some books that we're gonna get into, ancient books that are gonna blow everyone's minds. It's in the works right now. So I know he was here. I know, Ryan, you're out there somewhere. You were I saw you in the live chat before, but so let's get more positive, right? Let's get into more positive stories. So I thought this was awesome. This was In the Name of Love 54. This was a school project he picked up on his own. Love our kids waking up. And look what this kid did. He's got this cutout board. He made a project, and it is called Who is Q? Who is Q? And he's got where can you find Q? QMap.pub, QAnon.pub. He's got all the graphics here, and I'm sure he had Joam's video. When I saw this, and the lady said this is not, just to clarify, this is not my child. It was posted in one of her Facebook groups. When I saw this, it gave me hope for my son, and not just my son, but future generations as a whole. This was so cool to see that a kid here, it looks like for the way he's dressed, it could be some fancy private school, but either way, who cares? The fact that a kid his age, he looks like maybe what, 9, 10 years old, maybe a little bit older. He is probably red pilling his friends. And the fact that he understands all this is absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So I thought that was really cool to throw in there. So let's get a little laugh here. I'm going to give my voice just a break here for a minute. And let's laugh at Joe Biden here, and let's look at some of the dumb things. The dumbest things he has said in the last few months. Here we go.
Spend all your time waiting for that second.
My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other Biden.
Storm keeps on twisting. You keep on building.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing.
You had people like Margaret Thatcher. You had people like the former chairman and leader of the party in Germany.
Go to Joe 303330. I love this place. What's not to like about the month? All right, Jack. Thank you very much.
All right, it's Chris, but anyway.
By the way, this is my little sister Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh no, let's go. Oh, you switched on me.
Arms of the angel fly away.
Are you with Donald Trump? Coming up and tell me you don't support me. No. My plan. Yeah, you did. You said I said I would support you in the general. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Damn liar, man. Take away our gun. You're full of shit. All right, thank you. Now, shush. I want to check my shape on. Let's do push-ups together, man. Let's go.
There's a lot of guys. You're a lot of...
Look, fat. Look, here's the deal.
Ugh, so gross.
You're in the arms of the angel that you find some comfort here.
Yes. Keep America great again. Let's do it. So there we go, guys. Let me go back to the chat real quick. Let me take a look. Somebody said that YouTube was messing with my sound or cutting me off here. Let me go here. All right. Everybody can hear me? Let's see here. I'm just scrolling through, making sure everything's okay. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. It looks like everything's okay. Somebody said that YouTube cut my sound off, which is not a surprise. Not a surprise here. All right. So let's get back into the content. Let's wrap this show up and we'll start taking some calls. One of the last things I want to show you. Oh, and by the way, this was just breaking news. Trump got tested for the coronavirus and he came out negative. So there goes that. There it goes. That story can go die somewhere. Fucking media. So Pornhub is giving Italian free premium access during coronavirus quarantine. If you're stuck at home during a global pandemic, what do? Pick up a book, catch up on the plethora of streaming TV shows. Right. So I just thought I wanted to throw that in there. Not that I advocate Pornhub or anything, but I just thought that was funny that somebody's given the Italians some relief here. Absolutely fantastic. So let's see. Last one here. And you know what? We're not going to do that. Forget that. Forget that story. All right. So that is pretty much the show that I had for you guys. I wanted to just show you guys the article about Soros and the pandemic insurance company he built and all that good stuff. So if you guys can give the episode a like, give it a like. We're at 200. We're almost at 500 viewers. We broke another record on the live stream, which is amazing. Thank you so much, everyone that's out there. I want to get the phone number up there. I just want to make sure I didn't miss any super chats. I don't think I saw any super chats, which is fine. If you guys want to jump those super chats on me, go ahead. Go for it. I'll give you that shout out and we'll continue the show. So let me put up the number here on the screen and we'll get the calls rolling here. Let's try it out. And before we do that, I made contact with a gentleman who I said his name before, Ryan Comet, and he's a very smart dude, and he's had contact with some pretty high-level people from what it seems like, and he's got some really good information. He's good at breaking down information. I spoke with him for about 30-40 minutes today, just to get to know him a little, get to know him a little better. I don't want to bring anybody into the show that I don't deem as credible, or I don't know. I'm super protective of this channel and the information that I bring into it. This is my baby. I created this from nothing, so that's why. But he seems really cool, and he's got some amazing information that we're going to set up some interviews, and we're going to talk about things that do not involve politics. That we've been beating the politic horse for a long time now. It's an election year, so that's not a surprise. So, and we're gonna be breaking down some amazing topics. So I'm talking about Project Looking Glass, advanced technology, ET technology, symbolism, just so many things that we talked about, and we're gonna get him on the show, and we're building. My thing is, he eventually wants to make his channel, but the thing is, I want to create a community that that resides in this channel, create contacts, networks, insiders of our own, and just create this channel, ladies and gentlemen, and make it something fucking amazing. Amazing. Creating a legacy here. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So, Ryan, I don't know if you're still out there, my friend, but wanted to give you a shout out. It's a good conversation, dude. Great conversation with you. Let's see. Let me put up the phone number here, and we'll get this rocking and rolling. Add the text here. Text. That's fine. 845-232-0446. All right. Let me put some beats on. And we're going to chill tonight. All right, guys. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for all the beautiful comments from you. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful people. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are open. You guys can call if you want. 845-232-0446. I know everyone's home. Everyone just wants to, everyone's freaking out. Let's just chill out and just have a conversation. We go back to the chat room here. Oh boy. Some of these comments in here are a little crazy. Yeah, and just real quick, I wanted to, this guy, Austin, he's a complete shill. And I'm kind of annoyed because he messaged me, he direct messaged me about a month ago. And he wanted me to check out his channel, his Q channel, all that stuff. And his first episode was actually really, really good. And as I was looking into it more, he seemed to, there he is, Savvy Optician. There you are, my friend. Can't wait to get the real info out there. The symbols will be their downfall. Man, I cannot wait to dive into that. And you know what? I love people that know more than I do. I'm always willing to learn. Always willing to have someone else tell me what's going on. It's amazing because I'm no expert. I started this a year and a half ago. What do I know? So, yes, that's what we have going. So yeah, this guy Austin, he's pretty well spoken. He seems like a little like a cocky douchebag, and then I kept getting recommendations from YouTube for his videos all the time, and I'm like, that's weird. I know my videos never get. I think my Kobe video was the last one that got recommended, which I don't know how it got past their algorithms, but it did. And as his videos kept coming out, it got more and more apparent that he is a complete LARP. He is saying that he gets direct orders from Q+, from Trump, and Q itself, and he's part of the Q team. And I've had so many people that follow this channel. Oh, here we go. Let's get the call. $9158, you're on the woke size. What's going on? Oh, I think they hung up. That's okay. We'll keep rocking that music. Complete shill. Absolute complete shill. People are sending me, go follow this guy, go look at his info. He says he's from Q+, he's with Q team, guys. Q said there are no outside comms. You have to get that. You have to get that. Go. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. Don't go to his channel. Don't even go to it. Don't give him any attention. Just stay away from him. His name's like Austin Steinberg, something like that. I unfollowed him. I unsubscribed, all that stuff. So just be careful, guys. There are people that are trying to ruin and cause fractures in this movement and in our community. So, not happening. Yes, awesome time. Awesome time. I'm glad everybody had a good time tonight. So yeah, guys, if I don't have to work, I'll be doing this full time for a little while, and I'll actually get a taste of what it's like to not have to feel stressed and crunch for articles and content. It's a lot doing these channels. It really is. And it's to make good content, because anyone can make a channel. But yes, sir. Yes, sir. So 845-232-0446. Drop in the chat. You can talk about whatever you want. There we go. 369. You're on Woke Societies.
Hi. Yeah, I just calling up about, well, the general concept of Q. I mean, well, basically what it is, it's the whole concept in itself. I was curious about this. What if now there was a person that had lived through all of this, say many years ago, and was actually an insider in all this sort of behavior and society and everything, and was young enough to the point where he was able to contact the right people and say, look, because I'm an insider, I can kind of like give you all of this, but we have to devise a plan based on these templates. So these templates I'll give you and some other things, and then we could do a whole operation on them over the course of X number of years.
Yeah, I mean, it's at this point, my friend, anything is possible. Anything's possible.
Well, I would have to say this, and I venture to say this, all right, and it's not really going on a long limb. When you look at the totality of the operation, when you look at the detail of the operation, when you see what's going down, when you also see that we're able to use their noise as cover. See, when we're at a point of weakness or look weak, because they're yelling, it provides us strength and cover to go and do the things that we need. See, it's all psychological too. It's a yin-yang. It's like, well, if you take that yang, I'm going yin. All right, you take the yang and whichever the case may be, it's a working back and forth, just like you're going to pull out a big rock and wait for that castle to fall.
Yep. Yeah, man. No, it could definitely be going on. I mean, the Q team has definitely got some advanced technology of their own to figure this stuff out. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. Not at all.
Oh yeah, well, there's all kinds of things running around these days. Yeah, I know. Well, I just food for thought because these types of these things don't come along every day. All right, let's just put it that way. All right, within any given closed society, they don't occur. And simply put, they certainly don't involve international affairs worldwide. So the operation itself kind of speaks about the time involved and the complexity, and then the whole mapping out of every single move, because there's a counter move right there waiting for them.
Right, exactly. No, I totally agree, man. I gotta cut off the call because it's breaking up a lot, but I appreciate the call, my friend. Thank you. Call in more, please. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Okay. Sorry, guys. Yeah, his phone wasn't too good, but he was pretty much saying that maybe there was an insider that was part of these people that were taking the adrenochrome, and maybe they got to somebody on the Q team or somebody, and they were just like, "Hey, I know what this stuff is made of. I know how we can infiltrate this and maybe take these people out." Who knows? Anything could happen. Anything could happen. So, one more call tonight. 845-232-0446. And guys, don't forget while we're doing this, check out the new store. Check it out. All the mugs, the glasses, the Pepe mug, the coasters, the shifter. It's all good stuff. We're going to get hats, hoodies, and t-shirts at some point. That is coming. It's still in the works. But check it out. Check out the Patreon. Sign up for that. My BitChute. And my PayPal is a one-time donation. Of course, always like, subscribe, and comment. It is so important to the channel. So important to the channel. So don't forget. Don't forget. We'll wait here for one more call. See if we could actually get a call here. And yeah, we'll figure this out. Yeah, Savvy Optician. I am going to be doing a sequel on Looking Glass because I feel I might end up doing an episode on it every year. But if me and you could collab on something and do it, I would love to bring some new information out. Because that, to me, Looking Glass ties everything as far as ET technology, the deep state, the Q movement, what's going on with Trump, the space program, Space Force. It connects everything. It connects everything. So yeah, man, we're gonna be doing something for sure. Hopefully a bunch of things. Yeah, Martis Hayes. POTUS has got them in a trap again. Yeah, probably. Because he uses every negative thing to his advantage and turns it on them, so. Yeah, I don't know about this guy. Actually. Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Got some trolls up in here. There we go. There we go. All right, guys. That's probably going to be it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining. It was an absolute pleasure to hang out with all of you. Oh, wait. We have one more call here. They snuck it in. 9158, you're on with Woke Societies.
Yeah. Good evening. How are you doing this evening?
Good. What's your name, man?
My name's Travis. I'm from Regina, Saskatchewan, here in Canada. I just wanted to say hello and talk about the coronavirus here. And pretty suspicious here that Trudeau and his wife are isolating right now, as well as Tom Hanks and his wife.
Yep.
It's all very suspicious. And I hope and I pray that whatever's going on underneath the cloak of the coronavirus will turn out for the best for all us patriots. And I'm a Canadian. I definitely support Trump and his family, and I can only hope that he can come here and correct what's going on up here in Canada.
Awesome, man.
You know that before Trudeau left here last time around, that Obama came up here and helped to do a tweet storm. Yeah.
Right.
Isn't that something?
Hey, man, sorry, your phone's breaking up really bad.
Okay. I just wanted to thank you for all your work and wish you a good evening, man. So.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye-bye. All right. Let's try one more here. 0454.
Yeah. Hey, brother.
What's going on?
Hey, man. How are you?
Yes, finally a clear call.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, because I muted it as soon as I heard your voice. Are we on live?
We are live, my friend. You're going to be the last call tonight, so it better be good.
Okay, well, let me tell you something. I subscribed to your channel like a week ago because, I subscribe to all the channels that are in the same criteria. Red Bill 78, Black Conservative Patriot, quite frankly,
oh yeah,
these guys. All those, SGT report, X22, and all that stuff.
Yep.
So, yeah, man, I just want to tell you, I just want to tell you my name, and for the audience and for you and for everyone, my name is Yusuf Almantaser, and I worked in the Emergency Services Unit in the New York City Council between the years of 2014 and 2018.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry you've seen some stuff.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff. Like I said, I was in New York City working in the Emergency Services Unit for the City Council of New York City. And let me tell you something. The things that are going on now with, the COVID or or the what do they call that? The coronavirus and all this bullshit.
Yep.
It's the same thing that we went through in 2015 and 2016 with the Zika and the or Ebola and Zika virus that the media propagated and all that stuff. This is all the same shit.
Yeah, man. No, I absolutely agree. And I'm sure you've seen the graphic that these diseases always pop up around election years, and they're all cyclical.
Yeah, it's all part of the game. The Democratic Party, like I was telling you, I worked in the Democratic Party between 2014 and 2018, and I'll tell you, it's all the media and the Democratic Party are definitely in cahoots together because
oh, no doubt.
The managers, like I seen it for myself, the managers that I worked under, they were pushing the media's narrative all the time, constantly. And I've honestly been an admirer of Donald Trump since I was a kid because I live in Brooklyn, New York. You know, I grew up in New York City. I'm almost 40 years old.
Nice, New York native, my friend. Me too. Lived here my whole life.
Yeah. So growing up. I saw Desert Storm, the first World Trade Center attack. Then I saw the Desert Storm, theater, I guess you could say. And then going forward to 9/11. And you know what? It's like, I mean, it's almost easy. It's almost like elementary to see. You know what I mean?
Right, because you've seen this play before. You've seen this happen before.
And it's just been like from step 1, step 2, step 3, and now look. If anyone here listening, let me see how many people watching. Oh man, we have at least 3,000 people watching. I hope more people will subscribe to this channel. And thank you. I love your T-shirt, by the way.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. And let me tell you something. I supported Donald Trump since I was a child, and somehow I knew he would be a part of this country. I knew he would be president one day. Well, I believe, actually. And now that he's president, before in 2016, I was telling all the people that I worked with in the New York City Council, hey, what's going on? Don't follow the media. The media is telling lies again. What the fuck? Donald Trump was just on The Apprentice for 12, 15 seasons or something like that.
I watched it as a kid.
You know what I mean?
I loved it.
Yeah, I didn't really like it, but I watched it. But I admired Donald. You know what I mean?
Right. He's the boss.
He's a boss. Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, like I told my colleagues in 2016, 17, and 18. Donald Trump really was able to live the American dream.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, he lived in that time where he was able to invest in the American economy where it was stable and it was just. And then, and he made his money, but thank God he made his money before 9/11 because I think anyone who made their money after 9/11 is pretty much locked into that game, locked into the deep state game.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely, man. No, I totally agree. Totally agree.
I'm sorry. This is the first time I'm calling into your show because, I was just watching, quite frankly, and then I went through my whole list, and you were next on the list. So I started. I subscribed to you about a month ago. So
I'll take second, man. I'll take. You know what? Frank, I haven't called into a show yet. I'm going to because he's also New York native. He's less than an hour away from where I live. He is one of the main guys that got me wanting to do that. You can see the lava lamp, right? That's his signature.
Yeah.
That's his signature on me because I thought that was really, I've always loved lava lamps. I'm like, that's a really cool touch. So I'm like a mixture of all these guys out there, but I'm also trying to make my own, I'm trying to set my own trail. I'm a trailblazer, so I'm doing my own thing. I
understand.
But yeah, man, I love all those guys. They're all great creators, and just to be even mentioned with them is amazing.
We are part of the team.
That's it, man. We're all in this together. Every single one. That's
We're
why we're
all in
taking
this
calls.
together. Yeah, exactly. Where we go on, we go all. And God bless whoever came up with that term, because holy shit, I've been waiting for this since 9/11.
That's it, my friend. That's awesome. Your name was Youssef?
Yeah, Youssef. And you know what? I'm going to call in again.
Beautiful.
And I want to also tell you that not only was I part of the New York City Council from 2014 to 2019, but I was also a first responder in Ground Zero in 9/11.
Dude,
so
much respect, man.
Yeah,
much respect, my
yeah.
friend.
I was a National Guardsman, and by the way, I'm an American Muslim. So
That's awesome.
please, I just want the audience to hear, like, yo, I'm American and I'm Muslim. I love my country. I love the USA. I will never go anywhere else. I will never leave here. I would rather fight and die here than to leave
man.
here
That's,
in retreat.
What a great call, man. Well, Youssef, I want you to call in more often, please. That was a great call. It was nice talking to you.
I will.
Nice talking to you, my friend. You have a good night.
You too. Thank you so much, Woke Societies.
Absolutely, my man. Take it easy.
Good night.
Well, that's going to wrap up the calls. I got some super chats here. I got Donna Lee, $5. Thank you, Donna. You were appreciated and loved. And I have Alana N here sending me $20. Thank you, Alana. You are appreciated beyond belief. All these efforts go back into the show, so thank you guys. So I think that is where we're leaving the show off. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. This is Scott from Woke Societies on the Woke Societies YouTube channel and podcast. Subscribe, like, share, get the content out there. Where we go on, we go all. We are the news now. We are the news. So everybody have a great night. I will keep everybody updated on my work situation. And hey, if I have to do this full time for 3 weeks, fuck it. I am so down. So until then, everybody, until then, you know it's coming. Stay woke. Have a good night.